feel more alive than I am.
Next question. Oh my god.
All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? From Quarantine Eats, I'm Sean Chin, and you're watching Hot Wings. It's the show with hot wings and even hotter questions. And today, I'm welcoming three very special guests: Damon Valdez, Mark Sandusky, and Tyrone Soloza. Welcome to the show. You might recognize them as my roommates. They're also longtime college fraternity brothers and good friends. More recently, you might recognize them from social media, starring in my various Instagram stories as my co-quarantine buddies and uncles to my cat. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Absolutely. How you guys feeling going into this?
I'm nervous. I'm scared.
Very scared.
I'm very scared. I have no idea how much sauce.
All right. How do you guys do with hot food in general?
I mean, normally I think I have a pretty high tolerance, and I'm really worried I'm going to learn who I really am today.
Yeah. Well, we'll take it step by step. So, wing number one. Let's get into it. They're cold. They're
Mhm.
cold.
Oh, hold on. This is gonna be easy, isn't it? Oh yeah.
I mean the most of this one because it's going to hurt the least.
As I mentioned in the intro, we were all members of the SIGEP chapter at CMU.
Mm-hmm.
We had the pleasure of enjoying many interesting meals with our various fraternity chefs. What memories stick out to you the most?
I do remember when our first chef, Richard, when he had to leave legally because like the FBI was investigating him, and me and another trainer had to like interview a new chef, and like he asked us like, what happened to the previous chef? Like, like why are you guys looking for a new chef? And I had to be like, I'm not legally able to say why we're hiring a new chef.
Whatever happened?
I think he absconded to Jamaica.
Nice.
Like, I'm making that up. Like, literally, I think still is there because he's not allowed in the country.
Yeah. Very good.
So my best memory from our chefs came from Super Bowl. I think it was 2010.
Oh God.
It was the Super Bowl when it was like the Colts versus the Saints. And I remember that night we got the announcement that school was canceled the next day because of the snowpocalypse in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So as a result of that, everyone was getting really drunk. And we decided to play beer pong, where I was paired up with TD, our chef, versus two of our other brothers. The game ended up going into, the other team hit the last cup, so we had redemption. So in redemption, I was able to hit the last cup in order to force the game to overtime. So in the midst of all this joy, TD decided to pick me up and hold me very closely, and then proceeded to kiss me on the cheek with a big slobbery kiss with his little beard all over the place, and called me his little Asian bitch.
Well, some humor doesn't age very well.
Yeah.
So, moving on, wing number two. Let's get into it.
So which one is this?
Yeah, which one is this? Second one.
This is
This is the Chicago.
Chicago.
I like them cold.
Got the I do like that relish flavor. It's really good.
Yeah, cold pizza hits different than cold
Mhm.
wings. Fair. All right. So last summer, we all had the pleasure of welcoming a fantastic new roommate, me. It was also the first time all of us got to live with a cat together. None of us grew up with cats, yet somehow have become very fond of our furry feline.
Mm-hmm.
Who among us do you feel like has grown most fond of our cat?
I think we all know the answer.
I think it's Tyrone.
100%. Tyrone was showing me his phone the other day, like showing me a picture of something not Nikolai related, and he like pulled up his like phone camera roll, and it was like just hundreds of photos, and like a lot of times the same exact photo, just like 13 times of Nikolai, like every fucking frame.
I have some glorious photos of Nikolai.
So you do not disagree.
I don't disagree at all. We could probably have like a montage of Nikolai videos, like the middle of this video.
Mhm.
I'll send it to you later.
So I live. My room's right next to Tyrone's, and I constantly hear from my room a baby voice constantly where Tyrone is addressing Nikolai.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that room sometimes. I was like reading one night, and I just hear, "Oh, Nikolai." I was like,
I've woken up to it as well.
Moving on, wing number 3. You might recognize this. It's not a bottle, but comes from a packet. This is the Diablo sauce from Taco Bell.
Not a huge fan of Diablo sauce,
Yep.
but a huge fan of Taco Bell.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
"Whoa."
spicier than I remember.
You know what? Terrible on Taco Bell, but great on
Yeah,
wings.
yeah, no, it's actually really good on orange. That lime.
Mm-hmm.
We all agree that we like the Taco Bell hot sauce. Fire? No, fire.
Hot.
Hot.
I grew up on fire, but then recently converted to hot.
Mm-hmm.
And mild is just trash. Verde, no go.
Doesn't even
I thought they,
Rest in peace.
did.
Yeah. Well, this is a perfect segue into my next question. As self-proclaimed foodies, we've all been known to indulge in fine dining, even to go as far as to form the DDDC, the Dope Dudes Dining Club, where we dine at some of our favorite Michelin-starred restaurants around the area. Yet somehow, our fondness for the Taco Bell has rung true for all of us. What about it makes it such a favorite in our household?
It's a great question. The authenticity of Taco Bell relative to the other Mexican food around here is just top notch. I would say that's my answer.
In a more serious answer, I think the
Keep going.
the folks at Taco Bell, they found a flavor combination,
Yeah.
and that like they just were like, this is amazing, this worked, and
It's
they
smart.
repackaged it in like 20 different
Yeah.
things, and this went with it. And I think that's what makes it awesome.
Yeah.
If I may be fully honest, I gotta like almost apologize about Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Because I think for so long I was like, this is like trash food. It's not authentic Mexican food, and I always like looked down my nose at it. And I think because I thought Taco Bell was trying to be like, I think the best analogy is I thought it was like trying to be like Oscar-winning like food, right? Like I realized that Taco Bell's not trying to be like, you know, an Oscar-winning film. It's more like Fast and the Furious. It knows what it is. It's like, listen, we're not trying to like, you know, be deep gourmet, like complex. It's like, no. We're explosions, we're Vin Diesel, we're tits and rock and roll.
That's a great analogy. I love it.
And so that's why I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, Taco Bell.
Yeah. So Damon, you are also quite the taco aficionado. Often traveling back to Mexico. Mexico City, you often say, is one of your favorite cities in the world. What do you think is misunderstood about tacos and taco culture? And what do you think, what is next to come to the States as far as tacos?
I think tacos are already here to stay, and like you're seeing now, like people have such an advanced understanding of it that you're not just seeing like tortillas with meat on it. You're seeing even like I think like you're seeing Tijuana style tacos are now proliferating in a lot of like mainstream markets. I think like the fact that people even understand there is a difference between that and like your more standard like Guadalajara style taco or something. I think the other thing that is underappreciated about tacos is that the meat's always the star of the show, and the meat's very important. But I think like tortillas are the solid foundation that like without a good tortilla, the meat doesn't fucking matter.
Tyrone, as a Boston native who's also spent a significant amount of time in LA, you have the unique opportunity to live in two very prolific sports cities. In your opinion, which allegiance reigns supreme? Boston's love for Tom Brady or LA's allegiance to Kobe Bryant?
It's a tough one, especially given how soon it is. I would say, as a whole, Bostonians are more into sports and more diehard compared to LA. LA is more fair weather compared to what I've experienced back home. So, as a result of that, I would say the allegiance to Tom Brady is stronger than LA to Kobe. The allegiance to Kobe is insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. Yeah. But the density population from LA that like loves Kobe is much less than density in Boston or New England to Kobe.
Yeah. And as someone who's been a lifelong Patriots fan, seeing Tom Brady move down to Tampa Bay, are you still going to root for him?
Without doubt. I love Tom Brady.
I should love this stuff. This sauce is.
All right, Mark.
All right.
Growing up in Florida and Hawaii, I imagine it wasn't easy to get used to the Pittsburgh weather after growing up around beautiful views of the beach and fantastic weather in both of those places. What was the transition like when you moved to Pittsburgh for college?
That's a great question. Well, first of all, I lived in Florida for the first 6 months of my life.
Formative months.
Formative months, I guess,
Native.
But yeah, honestly, when I moved to Pittsburgh, I thought winter, as we know, winter below 70 degrees was something that happened for maybe 1.5 to 2 months out of the year. And the time that it did, everyone's all jolly, sitting inside and skiing around and stuff. So when I realized that 7-ish to 8 months out of the year, it's colder than 60 degrees, that was a huge shock. And even on top of that, Pittsburgh is the second cloudiest city after Seattle, not seeing the sun at weeks at a time, 1 to 2 weeks at a time, landlocked. It was a huge adjustment. I actually did pretty poorly my first year in college because I was absolutely just out of place, culturally and also just weather-wise. It was pretty tough.
It's a great segue. So I want to ask you, when you go home, hop off the plane, get to that 7-Eleven for the first time, what are you reaching for first? The Spam musubi or a Montepillo?
Well, that's a good question. I think Spam musubi is the go-to. Montepillo is good, but I'd say Spam musubi is the go-to. Also peanut butter mochi. That's those two are the go-tos.
The peanut butter mochi is a sleeper.
Yeah.
All right. Are you reaching for a malasada from Leonard's or a slice of pie from Ted's Bakery?
Ted's Bakery. It's I make almost a pilgrimage out of it. I go Ted's. So Ted's is on the North Shore of Oahu, which is more rural part. It's also where all the famous surf breaks are. I always try to get a crew, or sometimes go by myself, to get up to the North Shore, and we always go to Ted's, get a plate lunch, and get a slice of pie.
Solo slice, I love it. All right, moving on. Question number 6, wing number 6. Those of us who know you well know that you never want to say no to a trip, even flying all the way to China for a 3-day weekend. What are some philosophies or travel hacks that you subscribe to make traveling easier?
Oh, I got a question. Yeah, I think my overarching philosophy is always bake in flexibility. So I think one, a lot of folks try to cram it as much as possible. And I think a lot of times you'll find once you're there, there's certain things that you learn about, whether you're talking to people who live there or just now been exposed to it, that you want to check out. And so if you try to overprogram yourself, one, you're gonna miss out on new discoveries you might make while you're there. I think also you might just want to take a rest. You're on vacation, just go to relax and not to feel like you're on a schedule. And I think that also manifests in how you pack. So I always underpack. One, because most people we tend to overpack as humans. We're just I want to make sure I don't ever not have the thing I need. And so I always actually intentionally underpack so that when I'm there, one, I'm forced to have to buy something because I think most souvenirs are garbage. And so what I'll do is I'll underpack clothes or something where I'm oh, I gotta buy a nice shirt, and I'm gonna buy a nice shirt in this trip I went on. And so now forever, when I wear that nice shirt, because it's a very practical thing to wear, I'll always be able to forever associate that with that trip.
So all your shirts are from international destinations. I love it.
Yeah, something like that.
Cool. All right, let's move on. Wing number 7. This one is made by us. Nice. How you guys feeling the heat? I felt the last one.
The last one is
staying on the lips.
This one,
I love
this one's
I
wet.
would drink the last one.
That was so good.
Almost.
We'll do it after the show. All right.
Wow.
I'm glad there's only 3 left. I'll say that.
Staying it in there. Well, this is when it heats up even more. All right. We have a recurring segment on the show called Explain That Gram, where we take a deep dive into our guest's Instagram. I'll show you the photo, you give me the backstory, and just tell us what's happening behind the scenes.
Oh, means this one's for me.
Yes. What's going on with this one?
Yeah, I don't know, this one kind of explains itself, really. So this was at a wedding, And so a friend of ours, they decided to marry themselves for their 30th birthday. A friend of ours, James, they married their drag queen version of themselves, and they threw a wedding, full on groomsmen, bridesmaids, everything. There was a venue, there was a ceremony which was very unique. There was a water feature. It was unlike any ceremony I've ever been to in my life, and so the recommendation for dress was basically anything you want. So we're actually pictured here. James had told us to, whatever you want. I wore, of course, my go-to sparkling red sequin Satan jacket, no shirt underneath, and Josh here wore his banana thing, and his wife, not pictured, she actually wore the exact same pattern dress. And so this is at the venue. I also, I guess, had makeup on and a chain link of glow stick bracelets and a fan. So yeah, this one, it's pretty straightforward. I don't know, yeah.
I know you got a lot of mileage of that too. You've worn it a few more times.
I wore it at your birthday. Yeah.
I see you wear it, a non-zero amount of times.
But, yeah, non-zero is one way to put it.
At least once.
Awesome. So this one, you guys look very nice and sober, but I imagine that's not the end of that story.
Well, I'll let you tell your half of it, but basically that day started out wonderful. This is in Oktoberfest in Munich. Tyrone and I went with a few other friends, and it ended with both of us independently blacking out and getting lost and our phones dying.
Well, you guys made it back.
Yes,
We're good. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna move on. This is wing number 8. I'm loving the commitment to eating the whole thing.
Of course. Can't let people on the internet let us know we're happy.
Yeah, good. We'll see, I guess, actually. I don't know.
I think this one builds a little bit. Get the back of throw. Tyrone, so it's not a stretch to say that The Office is one of your favorite shows. It's often a common sight for us to come down into the living room and see you watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people know that you actually spent an entire summer living in Scranton, Pennsylvania. What things about the show did they get right about the hometown of Thunder Mifflin?
Oh boy. A lot of that was very spot on about the show. The fact that there's absolutely nothing to do in Scranton, and it's miserable, and people just hate their lives and their day-to-day job. I was working at a factory where I hated it, and there was really nothing to look forward to at all that summer, which is very very reflective of this given time right now.
Yeah.
So that kind of helped me prepare for this whole quarantine situation. Because I was just not doing anything. It was great.
I see. I imagine while in Scranton and elsewhere, while introducing yourself, you might have been catching some people off guard by your name. What are some reactions that stick out?
Yeah, so being someone named Tyrone and looking like myself, some of the best reactions that I've gotten are just normal interactions at Starbucks or a place where I have to say my name and then go pick my order later on. There have been times where I've had to show my license or my credit card to prove that this is actually my name.
Really?
Yeah. One of my other favorite times was, so back in college, me and a good friend of mine, or ours, Charles, we are also in a rap group together, and he is an African American, and I am not. So one time we also rolled up to one of our events that we were performing at, and the person coordinating this event came up to us, and she assumed that Charles was Tyrone. For some reason, I don't know why. So she goes up to him, she's like, "Oh, you must be Tyrone." And I was just like, "Yep."
All right, moving on. Number 9.
I'm more scared of this one than the last one.
Well, we've handled all of these quite well.
I honestly thought this one was a little hotter.
The horse radish one?
No, the one before that.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's get into it.
Which one's this?
This is De Bomb Beyond Insanity.
It looks.
Okay,
Sounds
no.
on
No. I have one bite and already know.
Smelling, it smells.
It hits the
Oh, wow.
nasal passage
Mhm.
immediately.
I mean the entire fucking wing.
Yep, this is getting serious.
Okay.
All right.
Holy
It
shit.
doesn't taste good.
No, it's just,
I'm proud of this.
oh my god.
Oh, fuck.
Yep.
It's like someone, holy shit.
All right. While we can still breathe, Mark and Damien, just before quarantine, you guys spent a few $100s at a game shop. And recently, you both have been occupying your time playing Pandemic, a cooperative board game based on the premise that disease is wiping out regions of the world. What have you learned about each other while playing on the same team?
That's a great question. I need a second.
What the fuck? You wanna go first, Mark?
Let me gather my thoughts and also my composure.
I'll go. Mark is a fantastic teammate. I think I couldn't ask for a better partner to solve viruses together. Mark, I think, is a great complementary teammate to me. Like, I think a lot of times will want to roll the dice more than we should. And Mark has like a good balance of not even playing conservative, just like he thinks of more possible scenarios. Like, I feel like if we were to play chess against each other, Mark would kick my ass because he thinks of more of like working the decision tree and whereas I'm more like there's 3 things I'm optimizing for in the short term. But at the same time, there are times when we roll the dice that like it works out, and we were very open and communicative with each other. Mark, your turn.
Yeah, so
I'm getting milk, sorry.
it's a really cool game because it carries over every single time you play.
Yeah.
I feel like I have like a really engineering mindset in that I'm always trying to think of things that can go wrong and try to think ahead in that scenario. But what happens for me is that you kind of also try to think too much far ahead. You try to overthink things. You try to like think of every single thing that can go wrong. And Damien is an awesome forcing function to be like, no, like kind of like a bias towards action. Like we're trying to accomplish these objectives. Yeah, there's risks in accomplishing them, but like otherwise we're just gonna be sitting here waiting for bad things to happen and trying to accomplish them. So I think we play off really well, each other really well.
I don't think I've ever had my mouth feeling.
I think honestly, I didn't know my sinuses were clogged until this happened. They are. I feel more alive than I do.
Next question. Oh my god.
All right. So that was number 9. We're gonna enter the last
You don't get much?
wing. No. There's a tradition around here to put a little bit extra. You don't have to, you don't want to.
Mr. Diablo sauce.
Oh my god. I got so cocky.
Don't touch your eyes.
I was like, I got so cocky. I was like, oh, these, they got, oh my god. Yeah. How much are you putting on?
A dab.
Oh god. I hate it.
Is that enough?
I hate this.
Yeah.
I hate this more than I hate Mark.
Oh, one more. This is the last one, right? Go for broke. Okay.
Oh.
I don't fuck.
Wow.
I'll my first beat.
You don't have to, you don't want to.
If it's all good with you, I'm gonna put the dab on the thing.
Whatever. Just burns a hole through the wood. This Guinness tastes different.
I'm getting more milk.
This tastes different. Like, you've reprogrammed my taste buds.
Tyrone, you're going in for round 3 of
How much milk have you had?
There we go.
last wing.
Round 2.
You hung in here all this time.
Oh, I just burped it up too. It hurt.
I'm actually back to normal. I feel
Shut
good.
up! Fuck you!
Alright. Cheers, bro. Cheers.
Alright.
Oh, you.
This one actually. Here's what I can tell there's been a.
It's a late burner. Alright. So one of the unfortunate consequences of this pandemic has been the accumulation of save-the-dates and RSVPs on our refrigerator of all these weddings and other events that we unfortunately cannot attend. Many of these weddings are of good friends and family members. Reflect on the many nuptials that you have attended. What are some of the best drunk moments you've witnessed?
The silliest wedding experience that I've been involved in was I got so drunk at this wedding in Minnesota. I that this wedding was maybe like a month after the movie Get Out came, and I was probably one or like two minorities in this whole wedding. So I got so drunk that I thought I was like in the sequel to Get Out, where people were trying to trick me to like use me for whatever purpose.
Was at Celine's wedding. Shout out Celine. We had to learn a bongo dance to introduce him at his wedding. I don't know how to dance. I don't know how to bongo. And so I am Indian. I don't know how to bongo or dance. But he also had the luxury of having a open bar at every event at his wedding, which was 3 days, top shelf stuff. And so I proceeded to drink as much as I could with all the other people at our party who didn't know how to bongo or didn't know how to dance. And we just had an amazing time on the dance floor in front of like 300 people, introducing him into the reception. And I'm sure there's a wonderful video out there.
We will find that video. Mine's an obvious one. Three of us, sorry Mark, were lucky enough to be at Andy Lee's Kelly Chang's wedding last November, which is 80 years ago at this point. And so I had the honor and privilege of giving a toast at her, and I wanted to do it right, and so I didn't drink at all. The day leading up to it, even at the cocktail hour. And no one else was. And not even like in the slightest, like I would like be talking to people and I would look at like one of you actually, and you would have like, I don't know, like a margarita or something in your hand, and then I would like talk so for like 2 minutes and then turn back and I'd see you again with a different drink in your hand. This is like rinse, wash, repeat. I have so much saliva. And so by the time, like literally by the time that hour was over, I don't think anyone actually knows what happened the rest of the night. And like, I think it was good for me. I had to give a speech, and it was like the best fucking audience you can ask for because everyone was hammered. Like, I could have said anything. They were like, guys, just do it! Yeah!
Well, guys, we did it. Climbed the mountain. Yeah. 10 wings up, 10 wings down. You now earned the spot. This camera, that camera, that camera. Tell the people what you got going on.
Tyron, you want to go first?
Yeah. Look at my schedule. Yeah, it's just so many things. So I got nothing. Nothing going on.
Yeah, okay, so stay the fuck home. I don't care where you live. Stay indoors as much as possible. Looking at you, Florida. Looking at you, Ohio. Fucking don't be selfish. Donate to any services for people you know. If you get your haircut, if you get your house cleaned, keep taking the money, they need it. And you last of all, but most important, wear a mask outside.
It's a tough time for everyone, but stay positive. Make lemonade out of lemons, and use it as an opportunity to either better yourself or do kind of activities that you haven't done before. So,
cheers to that shit.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Let's do that again.
Ooh, okay.
Don't tell him I said this, but I think Sean's doing a fantastic job.
I love Sean.